Hi everyone, welcome to Skill Questers Hub. In this video, we will explore IPython magic commands in Jupyter Notebook. So magic commands are built-in commands that provide additional functionality beyond the normal Python commands. So these magic commands are prefixed with percentage or double percentage. Let's explore the command %pwd. So in Jupyter Notebook, the command %pwd is a magic command to display the current working directory. So this stands for print working directory. So this will show the folder path where the notebook is currently running. So let me run the command. So I'm pressing Shift Enter to run it. So this is the folder where this Jupyter Notebook is running. So this command pwd gives the folder path where the Jupyter Notebook is currently running. Next, let us explore the command %ls. So this is a magic command used to list all files and folders in the current working directory. So if you run this command, it will list the files and folders in this directory. So in this folder, magic commands. So let me run this. Okay, so if you run, it gives all the files present in this folder. It lists all the files and folders present in the current working directory. So these are the files and folders present. Okay, so this command is similar to the ls command in Linux and Mac OS and dir command in Windows. Next, let us see the command %cd. So this magic command is used to change the current working directory. So cd stands for change directory. So this allows us to move from one folder to another inside the notebook environment. So currently we are in, let me run the pwd command again. Okay, so here pwd shows the current working directory. So which is inside projects magic commands folder. Now inside this we have a folder test. You can see that listed in this ls command. So now I'm changing the working directory to test. The current working directory will change from magic commands to test. Okay, so let me run this. So now you can see it has changed from magic commands to the folder test within this magic commands folder. So this is how you can change the directory using this command. Okay. Next, let us see the command %who. So this is a magic command used to list all variable names currently in the notebook. Okay. So it will just give the names of the variables which are present in this notebook. So first let us run the command %who. So currently we haven't created any variable here. So if you run this, it will say that it is empty since we haven't declared any variable. So now let's run the command a equal to b equal to the list. So I'm running this and creating the variables a and b. Now if you run the command %who, you will get the list of the variables that are present in this notebook. So now you can see the variables a and b which we created now. Okay, next let us explore the magic command %whos. So this is a magic command used to display detailed information about the variables. So currently in this notebook, we have declared two variables, a and b. So this will display the detailed information of the variable. The who command just lists those two variables. So whos command will give a detailed information of it. Okay, so let me run the command. So here you can see the detailed information. So there are two variables in this notebook and their type, one is int, other is list, and it is giving the data that it holds. Next, let us explore the magic command %history. So the command %history is used to display the previously executed commands in the notebook. So previously we have executed 5 commands here. Okay. So pwd, ls, cd, who and whos. So these were the 5 commands that we have executed. Okay, and also we have created the variables a and b. So these are the commands. So this %history will give you a history of the previously executed commands in this notebook. Okay, so let me run this command. Okay, so now you can see the commands that we have previously run. So now you can see the command that we have previously run. Okay, the order in which they were executed will also be displayed. Okay, so next let us see the magic command %time. So %time is used to measure the execution time of a single statement. It runs the code and it gives the time that is taken for the execution of that particular piece of code. Okay, so this is useful to check the performance. So this is a code sum of range of 100,000. So this is the piece of code, and here if we give the %time and run, it will give the execution time taken to run this code. So let me run this code. Okay, so this gives you the CPU time and wall time. So this is the time taken to execute this particular piece of code. Next, let us explore the command timeit. So %timeit is a magic command used to measure the average execution time of a code statement. So we are giving the same code statement which we have given previously, and we are checking it. So this will give an average execution time. Okay. Okay, so this runs the code multiple times and it calculates the average of the execution time each time the code has been run. Okay, so let me run this code. Okay, so it took some time to run compared to the %time. So this gives the average execution time. Okay, so both these commands are useful in checking the performance of the code that is written. So both time and timeit is useful to check the performance of the code. Next, let us see the command %matplotlib. Okay, so %matplotlib is a magic command used to enable plotting inside the notebook. So this will enable the graph plotting inside this notebook. So this will allow the graphs to be displayed. Okay, so let me run this code. So the first line of code is %matplotlib inline. Okay, inline. So this is the code to enable the plotting. So shift enter to run it. And the next code that we see here is for plotting the graph. Okay, so here we are importing matplotlib pyplot and we are assigning to list. Okay, so these x is a list variable, y is a list variable. We are assigning the values and we are plotting it in a graph. So this is the code for that. So let me run this. So this will display the graph. Okay, so this has displayed the graph, you can see now. So next, let us see the command %run. So the %run is a magic command used to execute external Python script inside this notebook. Okay, so we have Python scripts which are .py files. So this command %run, it will directly run the Python scripts within this notebook. So to do that, first let us create a script. So the writefile is used to create the file, and below that we are adding this text. Okay, let me run this. So writing script file. So this command %writefile has created a file script.py, which is a Python script file. And we have added the text hello from script file into this file script.py. Okay, you must be able to see that in that folder. So I'm going to the folder magic commands. So here you can see the file script.py, which was created now. Okay, let me open this. Okay, so this is the text inside the script.py. Okay, let's close this. Okay, now let's go back to this notebook. So here we have created the file and added this below text. Okay, now we will run that external script file script.py, which we created here inside the notebook. And for this is the command %run magic command is used to do that. So write this command and let me run it. Shift enter. So now you can see this has executed the Python script script.py. I have prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed here. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let's explore the command %lsmagic. So lsmagic is a magic command used to list all available magic commands. So this displays all the magic commands which are available, both the line magics and cell magics. So the commands which start with 1% is line magics, and the commands that start with 2% is cell magics. Okay, so let me run this command %lsmagic, pressing shift enter to run. So this lists both the commands line magics and cell magics. We can expand this. So if you expand the line magic commands, all the line magics commands that we have here is being listed. Similarly, below that, we have all the cell magics commands which are listed. Okay. So next, let's see the command %magic. So the magic command %magic is used to display detailed help about magic commands. Okay, so the command lsmagic, which we saw now, so the command lsmagic had displayed the line and cell commands. It has only listed the line and cell commands. Okay, so the magic command %magic will display detailed information about these magic commands. So let me run this. So here you can see it displays the detailed information of all the available magic commands. Okay, so here for example, let me show this command. So %writefile, which is the cell magic command. So here it gives the syntax of the writefile command and what it is used to do. Okay, so all the options that we can try and what each of the syntax means is listed here. Okay, so like this, you can check the documentation of all the available magic commands by running the magic command %magic. Next, let's see the command %quickref. So %quickref is a magic command used to show a quick reference guide for the IPython magic commands. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, so this also displays a documentation of all the available magic commands, but we do not see all the syntax and the options available displayed for each command. It only displays what each command does. Okay, so each command is listed along with one line of definition which defines what this command does. So this is useful as a quick reference guide. But if we need all the syntax for each of the command, we need to go with the command %magic. Okay. Next, we'll see the command %pinfo. So %pinfo is a magic command used to display information about an object or function. This is useful for understanding the Python objects and functions. So let me run this command. So percentage pinfo len. Okay, so we will run this command. Okay, so this gives the information about what len is. So len is of type built-in function or method. So this is a built-in function or method, and it returns the number of items in a container. So it gives the information about each object in Python. So you can give pinfo. So you can give that object with pinfo and you can check what it is used for. So this will display the information of that particular object. So the command pinfo displays the information of len. So we can see the type, the signature, and the doc string. So similarly, we have another magic command, pinfo2. So this command is also used to display information about an object. Okay, so let me run this command, pinfo2 list. So this also gives the type, doc string, and the signature. Next, let's see the command automagic. So automagic is a magic command used to enable or disable automatic magic commands. So the magic commands can be used with and without percentage. So when this is enabled, it can be used without percentage. Okay, so I'm running the command now, percentage automagic. Okay, so this says automagic is off. Percentage prefix is needed for line magics. Okay, which means, so let's go to the previous command. Let's go to the previous command, pinfo2 list. So I'm running this command and we are able to run it. Now automagic is off. Okay, so if I run the command without this percentage, if I just run it without percentage, you will get an error. This is because automagic is off. So first we need to enable this. If we enable this, to enable this, we need to run automagic again. So I'm running the command automagic. So now you get the output automagic is on. So now if you run the command pinfo2 without the percentage, it should still work. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so we can see that without the percentage, still the command runs without errors. So this is because the automagic is on. Next, let's see the command percentage config. So percentage config is a magic command used to view or change IPython configuration settings. Okay, so if you run this command, it will list the IPython configuration. Let me run this. Okay, so this displays all the configurations available for IPython. Next, let's see the command percentage page. Percentage page is a magic command used to display long output in a scrollable pager view. Okay. Okay, so this command will list the range of numbers from 1 to 49. Okay, so since the range is still 50, it will list the numbers from 1 to 49. So we are assigning this to a variable numbers. And now we are running this with the magic command percentage page. Okay, so let me run this command. Okay, so if I run this, it displays the list from 0 to 49. You can also see it displays the scroll bar by which we can scroll it. So this is what is known as displaying in the pager view. Okay. So this percentage page command is used to display the output in a pager view format where you will be able to scroll the output. Okay, so next let's see the command percentage bookmark. So the command percentage bookmark is a magic command used to save frequently used directory paths. Okay, so you can use the percentage bookmark command to save a directory path. Okay, so you can bookmark a directory path. So let's see that. So first we have the command percentage bookmark with a bookmark name. We are giving it as project and a directory. So this is the current directory in which the notebook is running. Okay. So let me first run %pwd. So pwd command will print the working directory. So let me run this. So it prints the working directory, projects magic command. So this is the same directory for which we are creating a bookmark project. Okay, so let's run this and create a bookmark. So now the bookmark is created. Let's come to the next command, %bookmark -l. So this is a command which lists the bookmark. Okay, so let me run it. So it lists the bookmark. So the output lists the bookmark, which there is only one bookmark, current bookmarks, which is project. And this project bookmark holds the directory magic comments. Okay, so now let us move to a folder test, which is inside this magic command. Okay, so I'm running the command %cd test, which means change directory to test. So I'm running this. So now the directory is changed from magic commands to magic commands test. Now let's check the working directory. So the current working directory is magic commands test. So now we have changed the working directory from magic commands. Earlier it was magic commands. We have changed it to magic commands test. Okay. Now, if you want to switch to the directory magic commands, we can make use of the bookmark that we have created. Okay, for that the command is below. It is %cd change directory -b, which stands for bookmark, and we are changing it to the bookmark project. And project holds the values magic commands. So let's run this. So if you run, the project bookmark is magic commands, and we can see that our directory is changed to magic commands now. So now let's run the pwd command. So this displays the current directory that we are in. Okay, so this is how you can create a bookmark and use the bookmark to switch from one directory to another. Next, let us see the command %reset. So %reset is a magic command used to remove all user-defined variables from memory. Okay, which means if we have variables defined, it will remove it from the memory of this notebook. Okay, so first let's check what all variables are defined inside this notebook. For that, we need to run the command %who. So let's run it. And we can see the variable defined is numbers. Okay. Let's also define another variable, data is equal to 1. Let's run it. Now let's check what are the variables defined inside this notebook by running the %who command. So now the output is data and numbers. So there are two variables defined in this notebook. So now let's run the %reset, which removes all the user-defined variables from memory. So let's run it. So it says, once deleted, variables cannot be recovered. So proceed. So let's press Y to proceed. So press Y and press enter. Okay, so now it has resetted all the variables and has removed them. Okay, so now it has removed all the variables. Now let's run the command %who. So now you see interactive namespace is empty, which means there are no variables present in this particular notebook. So this is what the reset command does. It clears all the user-defined variables from the notebook. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have explored in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let us explore the magic command %env. So %env is a magic command used to view or set environmental variables. The environmental variables store the values in key value format, and these are system-related configuration values. So let's run the command %env. Okay. So the command %env lists all the environmental variables in key value pairs. So we can also access the individual environmental variables. Okay, so let's access the environmental variable, all users profile or app data. So this is the command for that, %env app data. So this will list the value of the environmental variable app data. So let's run it, pressing Shift Enter to run. Okay, so this lists the value of the environmental variable app data. Next, let's explore the command %pycat. So the command %pycat is a magic command used to display the contents of a Python file with syntax highlighting. Okay, so it is useful for viewing the scripts inside the notebook. So here the command %pycat, we will be viewing the file, the Python file script.py. So whatever content is present in the file script.py will be listed here along with the syntax highlighting. Okay, so let's run this command %pycat script.py. So this lists the content that is present inside this file. Print hello from script file. Okay, so this is the file script.py. Let me open it. So this is the content that is present. Print hello from script file. So when we run the command %pycat script.py, this lists the exact same content which is present inside the file script.py. And we can also see that it highlights the syntax. You can see the color difference for print and the text within print. Okay, so it displays the content of a Python file along with the syntax highlighting. Next, let's explore the command %load. So %load is a magic command used to load code from an external file into a notebook cell. And the external file that we are going to use in this example is script.py, which is the same script.py which we used in the earlier command pycat. Okay, so this command %load script.py will load the code from the external file script.py into this particular notebook cell. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so you can see that it has loaded the content of the file script.py, which is the print statement, into this notebook cell. So this is what load does. Okay, now once it loads the content of that external file into the notebook cell, we can run it. We can also modify and run it. Okay, so let's also run this. So now it will print the output of this particular piece of code, hello from script file. Next, let us see the command %save. So %save is a magic command used to save commands or code from notebook history into a Python file. So this helps export the notebook code into a Python file. Okay, this is the command. So %save, we will create a file myscript.py and we will load the commands from 1 to 5. So all the past 5 commands that we have run will be loaded into the file myscript.py. So let's run this command. Okay, we can see the output. The following commands were returned to file myscript.py, and these are the commands. So these are all the commands that we have run previously, which is env, pycat, and load. So we have run env twice, pycat, and load. So all these commands will be saved into the file myscript.py. So let's check that. So here you can see myscript.py is created. Let's open this. So here you can see all the commands that we have run previously has been loaded into this file. Okay. Now let's explore the command %store. So %store is a magic command used to store variables permanently between notebook sessions. So it will store the variables in between the notebook sessions. So we can store the variable and reuse it later. Okay, so let's run this code. So here we are declaring a variable data equal to 3, data variable. And after that, we are running this line, which is %store data. So this will store the variable data. So let's run this. Stored data int. So we have stored the data. So we have stored the data variable. Now let's run %store. So %store will list all the variables that we have saved. So let's run this. So this lists all the stored variables and their values. So the only variable that we have stored is data. So it is listing the variable data along with its value 3. So next, let's explore the magic command %alias. So %alias is a magic command used to create shortcuts for system commands. So this helps in simplifying the frequently used commands. Okay, so here we are creating an alias, as the name says. So we are creating an alias ll for the command dir. So this is the command %alias. We are giving the alias a name. So we are giving it as ll. And for which command we are going to create an alias, we have to write that command. So it is for the command dir. So let's run this. So now the alias is created. Now if you want to run the command dir, you can run it using its alias ll. Okay, so let's run the command ll. So this gives the output as same as the command dir. So if you run ll, this is equivalent to running dir with an alias name. Now let's explore the magic command %unalias. So the magic command %unalias is used to remove an existing alias. It is used to delete any existing alias. So this is the command %unalias, and we are giving the name of the alias that exists, which we have previously created ll. So let's run the command %unalias ll. Okay, so we have run the command. Now after deleting the alias, if you run the alias command ll, let me run it. So you get an error. So now ll is no longer an alias of the command dir. Next, let's explore the magic command %debug. So %debug is a magic command used to start the interactive debugger after an error occurs. It helps inspect variables and trace errors. It is useful for debugging Python programs. Okay, so %debug is an interactive debugger. So let's run a code which will throw an error. So this is the code: a equal to 10, b equal to 0, c equal to a by 5. So this will give a 0 division error. Since we are dividing it by 0, let's run it. So we get the error, 0 division error, division by 0. So now we can run the magic command %debug, which will open the interactive debugger. So let's run it. So now we can inspect the values. So let's inspect the value a. So to inspect it, give the command pa and press enter. So this gives the value of a, which is 10. Now let's explore the value of the variable b. So p, b, enter. This gives the value 0. So now let's explore a by b. Okay. So this gives 0 division error. So this interactive debugger is useful to inspect the values of each variable holds and to inspect the code which has thrown the error. Okay, and to come out of this interactive debugger, press the command Q, enter. Okay, now we have come out of the interactive debugger. Now let us explore the magic command %precision. So %precision is a magic command used to control the display precision of floating points numbers. So this can change the precision of floating point numbers. So let's check that. So let me run this line and run this command 1 divide by 3. So 1/3, I'm running this. So this gives the output 0.3333. So now we need to update this precision. So let's update it to 3. For this, the command is %precision 3. So let's run this. So now the floating point precision is 3. Now if you run the command 1 divide by 3 again, you will see that the output is rounded off to 3. So you can see that the floating point precision is changed to 3. So you can see only 3 values after the decimal point. Okay, so this is how we can change the precision using the magic command %precision. Next, let's explore the magic command %system. So %system is used to run operating system commands from the notebook. Okay, so let's run this command %system dir. So dir is an operating system file system operations command. Okay, so we can use %system to run this command as well. So let's run this. So this gives the output similar to the output that we get when we run the command %dir. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have explored in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let's explore the command %prun. So %prun is a magic command used to profile Python code execution. It is useful for optimizing the Python code and for debugging performance issues. So this is the code. So we have the magic command %prun and then the code, which is sum range of 100,000. Okay, so this gives the sum and range of 100,000. So we are going to check the profile of this Python code. Okay, so to check the performance of this code, we can run the magic command %prun with the code. So let's run this command, pressing Shift Enter to run it. Okay, so this gives the output 4 function calls and it took 0.004 seconds. And we can see the functions that were called to execute this particular piece of code. And we can see the total time and the cumulative time. Okay, so using this metric, we can understand the performance of a particular piece of code, and we can use this information to optimize the code. Okay, so next let's explore the magic command %load extension. So the magic command %load ext is used to load IPython extensions. Extensions add extra functionality to notebook. So one such extension is autoreload. So we will add the extension autoreload to this notebook. So let's run the command %load extension autoreload. Okay, so now we have added the extension autoreload. Next, let's explore the command %autoreload. So %autoreload is a magic command which automatically reloads imported modules. Okay, so the modules that are imported get automatically reloaded, which means if there is an update within the imported modules, that is reflected here when we re-execute the code without restarting the kernel or the notebook. Okay, so let's see that with an example. So this is the code %autoreload, which is used to configure this extension autoreload. Okay, so before we configure that, let's see an example code how it works without enabling the autoreload. Okay, so this is a code %writefile helper.py, and below we have the code. So this magic command writefile creates the file helper.py and adds the below lines of code into the file helper.py. Okay, so let's run this command and we get the output writing helper.py. So this means the file helper.py is created and these two lines are added. Okay, let's also run the below line of code, which is importing the module helper, and we are calling the function helper.greet, which is within this module. So let's run it. So this gives the output of the print statement, which is version 1. So let's also open the file helper.py. Okay, we have it here. Okay, so this is the file helper.py, and inside this we have a function greet, which has the print statement version 1. Okay, so now we have this example file. So without configuring the auto reload, let me change the contents of this file. I'm changing the version from 1 to 2. Okay, and I'm saving it. Control S to save it. Now let me rerun this line of code, which calls the greet function. So I'm rerunning it. So, but this still gives the output version 1, though we have changed the content to version 2. Okay, so if auto reload is enabled, the module helper would have been automatically reloaded. Okay, so since auto reload is not configured here, the helper module is not updated. Okay, so let's configure the auto reload. So auto reload 2 is for reloading all the modules. So let me run this. Okay, so now we have configured it. Now let's run the helper.greet code. Okay, so now this prints the correct version 2. Okay, so now the updated output version 2 is being printed here. So this is because of the auto reload magic command. Okay, so once we have configured the auto reload, the module helper which we had created is being automatically reloaded. Okay, next let's explore the command %reload extension. So %reload extension is a magic command which reloads an already loaded extension. Okay, if we need to reload an extension which was already loaded, we can use the command reload extension and the extension name. So let's run this command. So now the auto reload extension is reloaded. Next, let's explore the command %sx. So %sx is a magic command which executes shell commands and stores the output. And the output is returned as a Python list. Okay, so let's execute the magic command %sx. So here we are creating a variable files and assigning the output of the command %sx for the shell command dir. So this is the command. We are saving that output into the files variable. So let's run this command. Okay. So now if you run the variable files, it will give the output of dir in a list format. Okay, let me run this. So here you can see it lists all the directories and files in the current folder. So this is what the dir command does. So same output is shown here and it is in a list format. Next, let us see the command %writefile. Okay, so %writefile, as we have already seen, is a magic command which writes the cell contents into a file. So it creates a file if it doesn't exist, or if the file is already existing, it will override that existing file. Okay, so this is useful for creating Python files and adding the content to it directly from the notebook. Okay, so let's see the code. Percentage writefile demo.py. So we are creating the file demo.py and adding the below line of code print hello into the file. Okay, so let's run this. So it gives the output writing demo.py. Okay, so this has created the file demo.py and add the below line of code to it. So let's check that. So let's go to the current folder. Okay, so here we can see the file demo.py. Let's open it. So the file is created and within this we have the code statement print hello. Okay, so this is what we had added. Next, let us see the magic command %bash. So %bash is a magic command which runs the entire cell as a bash script. But on Windows system, %bash is usually not supported because bash is not installed by default. So instead, Windows uses command prompt, CMD or PowerShell. So in Windows, we use the exclamatory mark for executing system commands instead of the bash command. So let's see the command. So it's echo, hello, cd. So these are shell commands. Okay, so to execute these commands, we need to add the exclamatory mark before these commands. Okay, so without the exclamatory mark, it will give error. So first let me remove this and let me run this. Shift enter. Okay, so it gives the error that echo hello is an invalid syntax. So now let me add the exclamatory mark again. Now let me run it. Okay, so now you see the output. This behaves similar to the echo statement in shell commands. So we get the output hello, and for cd, we get the current directory listed. Okay, so to run a shell command inside Jupyter Notebook, we need to add the exclamatory mark before the command. Next, let us see the command %HTML. So %HTML is a cell magic command that renders HTML content directly in the notebook. Okay, and this is useful for displaying formatted text and web elements. This supports HTML and CSS. Okay, so let's explore the command %HTML here. So here we have the magic command %HTML, and below that we have the HTML statement, which is the heading tag h1. Okay, so if we run this, the line that we have within h1, hello Jupyter, will be rendered as a HTML content. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, now you can see hello Jupyter in a heading format. Okay, so the h1 tag, which is a HTML content, is directly rendered in the notebook. So to do this, you can use the command %HTML. Next, let us see the magic command %capture. So %capture is a magic command that captures cell output silently. Okay, so this is useful for hiding unnecessary outputs or logs. So instead of showing the output when we run the command, it captures it and we can access it later on. Okay, so let's see that in action. So %capture, we are creating a variable output and we are adding the below line, which is a print statement. So if I run this cell, let me run it. So we don't get any output. But in the background, what happens is the line print hidden output is stored into the output variable. Okay, and later on you can access this output variable using the command output.stdout. Okay, let me run this. So now you can see the print statement which was stored within. Next, let us see the command %latex. So percentage latex is a magic command that renders latex equations and expressions. Okay. This is useful for mathematical documentation and formulas. Supports scientific notation and equation formatting. Okay, so let's see that in action. So we have the command percentage latex, and below that we have the line. So this is a latex command which is used to display the latex equation. So here we are going to display the equation a by b. Okay, a fraction a by b. So to display this is how we need to write it. Okay, so this backward slash and square bracket and backward slash and close square bracket should be added before and after the statement that we are going to write, or we can also add a dollar symbol. Okay, and then to get a fraction we need to write frac ab within the curly brackets. So this is how we need to write for the latex equation a by b. So let me run this. So this gives the output a by b. So here in the equation a by b, we have used the backward slash and square bracket for the equation. We can also use dollar sign. So we'll see that in the next latex equation. So equal to mc square. So here we are adding the command percentage latex, and below that we have the equation. Okay, we need to embed the equation with the dollar sign before and after, or with backslash and square bracket. Okay, so here we are going to use the dollar sign. We can use any one of it. Then write the equation E equal to mc square. So to get the square, the exponent, you need to add this symbol. Okay, so let's run this. So now we get the equation E is equal to mc square. So this is how you can use the latex magic command to render a latex equation or expression. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have explored in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let's explore the magic command %dirs. So %dirs is a magic command that shows the current directory stack. Okay, the directory stack contains the folders navigated using pushd and popd. This is useful for tracking directory navigation history in Jupyter Notebook. So this will keep a track of the directories that we have navigated using pushd and popd. Okay, let's run the command %dirs. So if we run this command, it gives an empty list. Okay, this is empty because we have not used the pushd and popd yet. So let's use that. So pushd and popd both are used for navigation. So using pushd command, we can move to a folder and the current folder is added to the list. Okay, so the current folder is added to the directory stack. And in case of popd, it pops out the directory from the current directory stack and it moves to that particular directory. Okay, let's see this in action. So let's use the command %pushd. So if you give the command %pushd, it will add the current directory that we are in. So it will add it to the current directory stack and move to that particular directory. So let's run this. So you get the output projects magic command. So this is the directory that we are running this Jupyter notebook on. Okay, so this would have added the magic commands directory into the current directory stack and has moved to the directory. So let's check that. So let me run the dirs again. Okay, so here we can see the output magic commands. So this has added the directory magic commands. Okay, and if you run pwd, we can also see that it has moved to the directory magic comments. But since we were already in this particular directory, there wouldn't be the difference in the directory. But here you can see that for what push D is used and pop D is used and how it fills the current directory stack. Okay, let's run the pop D now. So percentage pop D, this is used to pop the recently added directory, okay, and move back to the directory. So let's run percentage pop D. So here you can see it has popped out magic commands. Now if you run the directory dirs, you can see it's empty. So push D is used to add the directory to the current directory stack and pop D is used to remove it. Okay, so this is useful in keeping a track of the directory while we navigate in between the directories. So this is useful for tracking the directory navigation history in Jupyter Notebook. Let's next explore the command %dhist. So %dhist is used to display history of all directories visited in the session. So here we can get the history of all the directories we have visited in this particular session in the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so let's run the magic command %dhist. So this lists the directories that we have visited. So we have visited the same directory magic command twice. So that is listed here. Okay, so next let's explore the magic command %pushd. Okay, so %pushd is a magic command that changes directory and saves the current one in a stack, as we have seen in the previous example. Now we'll see it in more detail. So this magic command %pushd changes the directory and saves the current directory into the stack. Okay, so let's run the command %dirs. So this is empty. Now let's run the command %pushd, and we are giving the parameter of the directory projects. Okay, so we are moving from magic commands to the projects. Okay, let me also show that. So let's run pwd to see what directory we are in. So it is the directory magic commands. Okay, now we are going to move from magic commands into projects. Okay, so this is pushd. So if I run pushd, it will move to the directory projects and it will save the current directory, which is magic commands, into the directory stack. Okay, let's see that. So let me run the command %pushd projects folder. So let me run this. So now you can see that it has moved to projects. Okay, and the current directory has been saved into the directory stack. Okay, now if you run %pwd, you can see that the folder has changed from magic commands to projects directory. Okay, and if we run dirs again, so this is changed from an empty directory stack to the directory magic commands. Okay, so using pushd, we were able to move from one folder to another and keep a track of the folder which we were previously in. Next, let's explore the magic command %popd. So %popd is a magic command that removes the current directory from stack. So it removes the current directory from stack and returns to the previous directory. Okay, so this is useful for back navigation. Okay, as we saw in pushd, we were earlier present in magic commands. We moved to projects and the current directory was stored in the directory stack. Now using popd, we can move back to the previous directory magic commands. So this removes the current directory from stack and moves to the previous directory. So let's see that in action. So currently in %dirs, we have magic commands. Okay, and the current directory we are in, pwd, is projects. Now if you run popd, it will remove this magic commands directory which is inside the directory stack and it will return to this directory magic comments. Okay, so let me run the command %popd. Okay, so this has popped out magic commands and it has also changed the directory. So let's run pwd. So we can see the directory is changed from projects to magic commands. And now if you run dirs, you can see that it is empty. Okay, it has popped out the directory and moved to it. Next, let's explore the command %recall. So %recall is a magic command that recalls a previous command from history for editing or reuse. Useful for quickly reusing the past commands which we have run earlier. Okay, so first, let's see the history. What are commands that we have run earlier? So for that, you can give the command %history and run this. Okay, so here it gives the history of the commands that we have run so far in this session. So now we can recall any of these commands. Okay, so let's recall the command pwd. Okay, which is the fourth command. If you count from here, it is 4. So the command is %recall and give the number of the command that we want to recall. So if I run this command, we get the command pwd that is listed here. Okay, now if you want to recall the command dirs, you can change it to 1 from 4 and run this. You'll be able to see that dirs is recalled. Okay, and now we can edit this or run this. So let me run it. It gives the output. So %recall is used to recall a command which was previously run. Next, let's explore the command %rerun. So %rerun is a magic command which re-executes a previous command from the history. Okay, so this is useful for rerunning commands which we have previously run in this particular session. Okay, so again we can check the %history. So this gives the history of the commands that have been run. Now from the history, we can run any command. So let's run the command dirs, which is the first command. So you can give the command %rerun and you can give the number of the command. So 1. So let's run this. Okay, so here you can see it runs the command dirs and the output is print. Okay, so the recall command only recalls the previous command, whereas the rerun command reruns the previous command. Okay, next let's explore the command %tb. So %tb is a magic command that displays full traceback of the last error. And this is very useful for debugging the exceptions in detail. So let's see that in action. So we have a piece of code here, okay, which is a equal to 1, b equal to 0, c equal to a by b. So this divides the two variables a and b. Okay, so let's run it. So if you run this, we get the exception 0 division error. Okay, so this is a code with an exception. So here we can also use the magic command %tb for debugging the exception. Okay, so let's run %tb. Okay, so the %tb magic command is also used to give the exception details of the last error that has occurred. Next, let's explore the command %xdel. So %xdel is a magic command that deletes a variable completely from memory and removes the references. This is useful for freeing memory in large computations. Okay, so this is useful in deleting an existing variable. So let's see that in action. So this is a variable. Let's declare it data equal to 1. Let's run it. Let me run data. So this gives the value 1 which we have stored in data. So now let's run the command %xdel data. Let me run this. So this has deleted the variable data from the memory. So now if you run the variable data, it throws an error. Okay. Next, let's explore the command %markdown. So %% markdown is a magic command that turns a cell into markdown format for formatted text. So this is useful for writing headings, notes, documentation in the notebook. Okay, so let's see that. So we have the command in the cell, %% markdown, and below that we have the line with hash hello world. So in case of markdown, this is used for displaying a heading. So let me run this command. So if you run this, it displays hello world in heading format. So if you use the markdown command, it treats the cell as a markdown. Okay. Next, let us see the command %% JavaScript. So %% JavaScript is a magic command which runs a JavaScript code inside a Jupyter notebook cell. Okay, so let's see that in action. So here we have a code, %% JavaScript, and below that we have a JavaScript code. So we have the code which adds an alert hello. Okay, so let's run this code. So if I run the code, it gives the alert with the text hello that we have added. Let's give OK. Okay, so this is how we can use %% JavaScript magic command to run a JavaScript code inside Jupyter Notebook. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. So first, let us explore the magic command %colors. So %colors is a magic command that changes the color scheme used by IPython or Jupyter Notebook. So the color scheme improves readability of prompts, errors, and syntax highlighting. The common color schemes are Linux, neutral, no color. So the change in the color scheme only affects the current interactive session. Okay, so let's check the default color scheme for this notebook session. So for that, the command is %config, which is the config magic command, and zmq interactive shell dot colors. So this command will give you the default color scheme for this notebook session. So let's run it. So it is neutral. Now let's change the color scheme to no color. So before doing that, let's see what the neutral color scheme is. So the color scheme current is neutral and it is the default. So now I'm running this code 1/0. So 1 divided by 0. So this will give an exception. Let me run it. I'm pressing Shift Enter to run. Okay, so here it gives the exception, 0 division error, and we can see the color scheme for this. So the error is in red and the line is in green. So this is the color scheme, okay, for the color neutral. So now let's change the color scheme from neutral to no color. So for that, we need to run the command %colors no color. So let's run this. Okay, so now it's changed to no color. Let's run the color config and check if it is changed from neutral to no color. So let's run this. We get the value no color. So it is changed from neutral to no color. Now let's run the line of code which throws the exception 1/0 again. Okay, so now you can see that the color scheme is changed. Since it's no color, the error is changed to white. Okay, so which is default. So we can use this command %colors to change the color scheme. Okay. Okay, so this is how we can use the magic command %colors to change the color scheme. Next, let's explore the command %xmode. So %xmode is a magic command which controls the level of detail shown in exception tracebacks. Okay, so this is useful for debugging errors. We get the error detail, we get the exception details in a more detailed format. So let's see how this works. We have three modes for this: plain, context, and verbose. So verbose is a more detailed traceback of the exception. So let's first check what is the default xmode that is set in a notebook. So for that, this is the command. So from IPython module, we are importing get IPython and we are calling get IPython interactive TB mode. Okay, so let's run this by pressing Shift Enter. So here we get the xmode context. So now let's see how the context xmode exception is shown. So let's run this code, which will give an exception: a equal to 1, b equal to 0, c equal to a by b, which will give the zero division error because we are dividing 1 by 0. Okay, so let's run this. So we get the zero division error. We get the exception. So now I'm changing the xmode to verbose. So to change it, we need to run the command %xmode verbose. Okay, so let's run this. So before that, let's also run the traceback IPython magic command. So %tb. So this will give the exception of the most recent exception that was thrown, which is this line of code. So it is the same exception detail that is displayed. The both are same because the xmode is context. Okay. So now let's change the xmode to verbose. Let me run this command %xmode verbose. So now the exception reporting mode is changed to verbose. Now let's run the code which had the exception. So if I run this, okay, we can see that there are more details which are displayed in the exception. Okay, along with the exception details, the name of the exception and the line which throws the exception, we also have the variable values that is displayed here. Okay, so this is because we have changed the xmode to verbose. So now it displays the exception in more detailed format. Let's also check the %tb, which is the traceback magic command. So if you run this, this also gives the variable values. Okay, so this is how we can use the IPython magic command %xmode to change the level of details shown in the exception tracebacks. Okay, next let's explore the magic command %pip. So %pip is a IPython magic command which installs Python packages directly from a notebook. This ensures packages are installed in the current kernel environment. Okay, so %pip can be used to install the Python packages in the notebook. So the command is %pip install, and we can give the name of the package that we want to install. Okay, so let's run this command. So now we have installed the package numpy using the command %pip. Next, let's explore the magic command %hist. So %hist is a IPython magic command used to display the command history of the current session. It shows the previously executed commands which were executed in this current notebook session. Okay, so let's see that. So first let's run the command %hist. Okay, so if I run this, it gives the history of the commands that we have run in this particular notebook session. So starting from the colors, xmode, then pip and hist. So all the history of the commands is displayed in the same order. So now let's also run this command where x equal to 10, y equal to 20, and we are printing x plus y. So let's run this. So we get the value output 30. So now if you run the %hist command again, this recent code execution will also be added in this history. So let's run %history now. Okay, so once we run %hist, we can see that at the end, the line of code that we have recently executed is also added. Next, let's explore the magic command %reset selective. So the magic command %reset selective removes selected variables from memory. Okay. So %reset resets all the variable in the memory, whereas %reset selective, it will clear only the selected variables from memory. So let's declare the variable a equal to 10, b equal to 10, 20. Let's run this command. Okay. Now let us run the magic command %reset selective a. So it says once deleted, variables cannot be recovered. So let's proceed. So press Y and press enter to proceed. Okay, so now we have deleted the variable a. Now if you run the variable a, we get an error. Okay, so this is because the variable a is deleted from the memory. So this is how you can use the magic command %reset selective to delete a particular variable from memory. Next, let's explore the magic command %alias magic. So %alias magic is a IPython magic command which creates a shortcut alias for an existing magic command. Okay. So this helps reduce typing for frequently used magic commands. So let's see that in action. So let's take a magic command %timeit. So %timeit is used to measure the average execution time of a code statement. So this is the code statement that we are considering. So some range of 1000. So we will find the average execution time of that particular piece of code. So let's run this code. Okay, so we get the average time required to run the piece of code. Now let's create an alias magic. So the command is %alias magic. We are naming the alias as t for the magic command timeit. So it is %alias magic t timeit. So let's run this command. So now it has created alias t for the magic command timeit. So now we can run the timeit magic command using the alias t. So the same command can be rewritten as %t some range of 1000. So let's rerun this command. Okay, so now this does the same work as the timeit command and it prints the average execution time. Next, let's explore the IPython magic command %macro. So %macro saves previously executed commands into a reusable macro. So this is useful for repeating a sequence of commands. Macros can be executed like variables. So let's see that. So %macro, we are creating a macro. We are giving it as a name, my macro. Okay, for the first command that we have executed in this notebook session. So that's why I'm giving the number 1. Okay, so let's run this. So now this has created a macro, my macro, for the command interactive shell colors. Okay, which is the first command. Okay, so it is this command which we have executed first in this notebook session. Okay, so it has created a macro for the first command. So now to run the first command, we can just give the name of the macro to run it. So the macro name is my macro. Just run my macro. This gives the output of the first command, which is interactive shell colors, which we have set to no color. Okay. Next, let's explore the IPython magic command %whols. So %whols is a magic command which returns a list of variables currently defined. So we already have a magic command %who which lists the variables. Okay. But %whols provides the result as a Python list. So let's see that. So I'm creating two variables x10, y equal to hello. So let's run this. Now let me run the command %who, and let me also run the command %who ls. Okay, so you can see the different, both list the variables that are defined, but one just lists it and other lists is in a list format. So the magic command %who ls returns the list of variables in a Python list format. Next, let's explore the magic command %mkdir. So mkdir, which is make directory. So mkdir is a magic command which creates a new directory or folder, similar to the shell command mkdir, useful for creating folders directly from Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so let's run that command. %mkdir my folder. So we are creating a folder or directory here, my folder, with this command. So let's run it. Okay, so we have run the command. We can check here. So now it has created the folder, my folder. Okay, so the command %mkdir is used to create a new directory, and this is how we can do it. Next, let's explore the magic command %rmdir. So %rmdir is a IPython magic command used to remove an empty directory. This stands for remove directory. It deletes the specified folder only if the directory is empty. So let's see that in action. So let's delete the folder that we have created. So %rmdir my folder is the command. So let's run it. Okay, so now the command is executed. Now let's go to the folder and check. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, so now we can see that my folder is removed. Okay, so this is how you can use the magic command %rmdir to remove a directory. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have explored in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let us explore the magic command %loadpy. So %loadpy is a IPython magic command used to load the contents of a Python script to a notebook cell. Okay, it reads the source code from the specified Python file and inserts it into the current cell. Okay, so if you have an existing Python file and you want to reuse or edit that code of that existing file in the notebook, you can use this loadpy magic command. Okay, so this is the command %loadpy and then the name of the Python file. We have the Python file myscript.py. Okay, so myscript.py. Let me open this file. So for this example, we have a existing Python file myscript.py, and this is the code that is present here. So now we are using the magic command %loadpy to load the contents of the Python file myscript.py into this notebook cell. Okay, so let's run it. So I'm pressing Shift Enter to run it. So now this has loaded the contents of the Python file myscript.py into this notebook cell. Okay. So the same contents of the Python file myscript.py is loaded here. So now we can edit this text or execute it. So let's run this. Here in the code, we have a greet function which prints hello world, and we are calling this function. So this prints the statement hello world. Okay, so we can use the IPython magic command %loadpy to load the contents of a Python script into a notebook cell. Next, let's explore the IPython magic command %notebook. So %notebook is a IPython magic command used to export the input history of the current IPython session to a Jupyter notebook. Okay, so it saves the commands and code cells that have been executed during this current session. Okay, so let's see that. So this is the command %notebook, and we can specify the name of the notebook. and this should have the extension .ipynb. So we have this command %notebook and the name of the notebook file. So let's run this. Okay. Now if you go to the location, we'll have the notebook file, my notebook created here. So let's open this. Okay. So here you can see the commands that were executed being saved here in the notebook file. Okay, so these were the commands that we executed earlier in this session. Loadpy, and the contents we have executed it twice. So that data is being saved into a notebook. Okay, so we can use this command %notebook to save all the commands that we have executed into this particular notebook session in a new notebook. Okay. Next, let's explore the command %pastebin. So %pastebin is a IPython magic command used to upload code from the input history to an online pastebin service. So when we execute this code of the command %pastebin, it will create a shareable URL containing the selected code. Okay, so whatever code we have executed previously in this notebook session will be uploaded to a pastebin service, and we'll get a URL of that service when we run this code. Okay, so let's see that. Let me run this. Okay, so here, so now the code will be uploaded to a pastebin service, and the URL of that pastebin service is being listed here. Okay, so let's open this URL. Okay, here you can see all the commands that we had executed earlier in the session with loadpy and the code, then the notebook, %notebook command. Okay, so all this gets saved into a pastebin service URL. Okay, so we can use this command %pastebin to upload the code that we have executed into a pastebin service, and later this URL that we have can be shared among others for sharing the code snippets. Okay. So next, let's explore the magic command %setenv. So %setenv is a IPython magic command used to set environmental variables for the current session. Okay, so we have a set of existing environmental variables set for the current session. So along with that, we can also add new environmental variables to the session. Okay, so let's see that. So here we have the command %setenv, and we are creating an environmental variable, my variable, with the value hello world in it. Okay, so before running this command, let's check all the environmental variables that are existing. So for that, you can run the command %env. So let's run this. Okay, so this lists all the environmental variables that we have in this current session. Now let's run the setenv command, and we will set the variable, my variable, with the value hello world. So let's run this. Okay, so now it has been set. So now if you want to view this particular variable, we can use this code to access the value of that variable, my variable, which we have created. So let's run this. So now the value of the variable, my variable, is printed. Also in %env, we didn't have the variable, my variable, which we created now listed here. It will be listed at the end. Okay, so we don't have that. So now as we have set the variable, if you rerun %env, the new variable will also be listed. Okay, so let's rerun this. Okay, so now you have the environmental variable, my variable, which is listed here along with the value hello world. Okay, so we can use the IPython magic command %setenv to set an environmental variable for the current notebook session. Okay. Next, let's explore the IPython magic command %gui. So %gui is an IPython magic command used to enable integration between IPython and a GUI event loop. Okay, so this command will integrate the IPython notebook with the GUI. Okay, so we have some of the commonly used GUI toolkits: tkinter, pyqt, pyside, gtk. Okay, so among these, let's see the example of pyqt. Okay, so first we need to install the GUI toolkit which we are going to integrate. So here we'll install pyqt5. So this is the command. We'll install it with the magic command %pip. So %pip install pyqt5. Okay, so let's run this command to install pyqt5. Okay, so now we have successfully installed pyqt5. Okay, now we need to use the IPython magic command %GUI to integrate IPython with the qt5. Okay, so for that, run the command %GUI qt. So let's run this. Okay, so after that, so below I have this piece of code which will print the text hello qt, which will display a label with the text hello qt, and the other font and the size is also displayed. So we can run this command to display the label in the GUI. Okay, so let's run this command. So here a GUI comes up. Okay, and it displays the text hello qt. So this is how you can use the IPython magic command %GUI to integrate a GUI with the IPython. Okay. Next, let's explore the magic command %logstate. So %logstate is an IPython magic command used to display the current status of session logging. Okay. It shows whether logging is enabled or disabled. It provides the information about the log file, whether it is being used or not, and the logging mode. Okay, so let's see that. So let's run the command %logstate. So this says logging has not been activated. Okay, which means logging is not enabled for this notebook session. Okay, so using the command %logstate, we can check the current status of the session logging. And we can use logstart, logstop, logoff, and logon along with this logstate. Next, let's explore the magic command %logstart. So %logstart is an IPython magic command used to start logging the current session to a file. Okay, so this records the commands that we have executed during the session and saves them to a specified log file. We can specify a name of the log file and it will log the data to that file. Okay, so this is the command %logstart, and we are specifying a log file. It should be a Python file, so .py. So we are creating a file mylog.py. So this is the command. Let's run this. Okay, so this says that the logging is enabled. Here you can see the state which is active. Okay, so logging is enabled for the session and the logging is saved in the log file mylog.py. Let's check that. So let's go to the current location. So here we have the file mylog.py. So let's open it. Okay, so here you can see the log history of all the commands that we had executed from the first command load and then the other commands that we have executed. Everything is getting logged here. Okay. Okay, we can also check the log state now. So the earlier magic command %logstate that we had run, we can also recheck here. So now it will show that the state is active. So let's run it. So here you can see that the state is active and the logging file name is mylog.py. Okay. So this is how we can use the magic command %logsstart to start logging the current session to a file. Next, let's explore the magic command %logstop. So %logstop is an IPython magic command used to stop the current logging session. So it terminates the logging that we had previously started using the command %logstart. Okay, so this will stop it. So first let's check the log state. So currently it is active and the file where the logging is done is mylog.py. Now let's run the command %logstop. Okay, so we have run it. Now run %logstate. So now you see logging has not been activated. So this stops the logging that we had done earlier. Okay. So the logging is stopped, but we'll still have the file mylog.py which we created earlier, but the logging data will not get updated. Okay, so let's check that. So here we have mylog.py still. Let's open it. So here we see the command logstop which was run. Okay. Now if I run logstate again, this will not get updated into the logging file. So let's check that mylog.py. Okay, so let me refresh this now. Okay, so here we can see that the last command that was logged is logstop, not the recent command that we have run logstate. Okay, so once we stop the logging using logstop, the log file does not get updated. Okay, so we can use the command %logstop to stop the current logging session. Next, let's explore the command %logoff. %logoff is an IPython magic command used to temporarily suspend logging without completely stopping the logging session. Okay, so this will temporarily stop the logging. Okay, so this is useful if you want to exclude certain commands from being recorded, and later we can also resume the logging. Okay, so let's see that. So first let's run the command %logoff. Okay, so this says logging hasn't started yet. Okay, so since we had run logstop, the logging was stopped. Okay, and if you want to relog it, we need to run the command %logstart mylog.py, which we had run earlier, to start the logging. So let's run this. So now the state is active. Let's also check the mylog file. Okay, so now we can see that the logging is resumed. So logstart was the command that we had last executed. So that is being logged here. Now let's run the command %logoff. Okay, so now we have temporarily switched the logging off. Now let's refresh the file again. So this has logged the command logoff which we had run last. Okay. Now let's run the command %logstate. So this gives the state temporarily suspended. Now let's refresh the mylog.py file. Okay. Now since we have temporarily logged off the logging, we have stopped the logging. We don't see the last command logstart being logged here. Okay. Okay, so we can use the command %logoff to temporarily stop the logging in a current logging session. Next, let's explore the magic command %logon. So %logon is an IPython magic command used to resume logging after it has been temporarily turned off. Okay, so now we have temporarily turned off using %logoff. So we can use the command %logon to resume the logging. So this reactivates the existing logging session without creating a new log file. Okay, so let's run the command %logon. So switching logging on. So logging is on now. Okay, now let's run the command %logstate to check the logging state. So now you see the state is active. So now let's go to the log file, refresh it. Okay, now we'll see that the logging is back to normal it has been resumed, and the last command logstate is being logged here. Okay, so this is how you can use the command %logon to resume the logging which was temporarily stopped. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let us explore the magic command %autocall. So %autocall is an IPython magic command that automatically adds parentheses when calling functions if we do not call functions with the parentheses. Okay, so usually we call a function with parentheses and we pass in the arguments if the function is a parameterized function. Okay, so if the function contains arguments. But if we set the %autocall, we can call a function without a parenthesis. Okay, so let's see that. And we have 3 modes of autocall. So the default is off. So autocall 0, which is off, is the default. And we have autocall 1, which is smart, and autocall 2, which is full. If we set autocall to 2, then we can call functions without the parenthesis. And if we set it to off, which is 0, we need to give the parenthesis. And if we set the autocall to 1, then we can call the function without parenthesis only if it has an argument. Otherwise, it will not work. So it is best to keep the autocall as 2. Okay, so let's see that in action. So here we have the built-in function len. So we are passing the argument hello and we are calling it within parenthesis. So let's run this. Okay, so this gives the output, which is the count of the string hello, which is 5. So now let's set the autocall to 2. Before that, if you run the command len with the argument hello without the parenthesis, you'll get an error. So let's check that. So we get an error. So now if we set because it is set to the autocall 0, which is default. Okay, so the autocall is off. So if you set the autocall to 2, so %autocall 2, so let's run it. We can call the function without the parenthesis. So now let's rerun the code len with the argument hello without the parenthesis. So now if we run it, okay, we get the output 5. So this automatically adds the parenthesis for the function and calls it. Okay, so we can use the command %autocall to call functions without parenthesis if the autocall is on. Okay, next let's explore the magic command %pdef. So %pdef is an IPython magic command which displays the function signature or the definition of an object. Okay, so if you have an object or a function, you can get the definition of it by using the %pdef magic command. Okay, so let's run the command %pdef, and the object we are going to see the definition of is print. Okay, so let's run the command %pdef print. Okay, so this gives the definition of the object. Okay, so this is a function print. It gives the parameters which the function accepts and the signature of it. Okay, so %pdef can be used to get the definition of an object. Next, let's explore the magic command %pdoc. So %pdoc is an IPython magic command which shows the documentation or the doc string of an object. Okay, so this will be the documentation of the particular object. Okay, so let's run the command %pdoc print. So again, we are choosing the object print, which is the print function. Okay, to get the documentation of it. So let's run this command. Okay, so this gives the documentation of the object print. So this will give the information of what print does and the arguments that it accepts and what is the meaning of each argument. Okay, so basically the documentation of the object print is listed here. Okay, so we can use the magic command %pdoc to get the documentation of any object. Next, let's explore the magic command %pfile. So %pfile is an IPython magic command that displays the source file where the object is defined. So this will display the source file of that object. Okay. So using this, you can get the implementation details of that particular object. So let's see that in action. So here we are importing statistics module. We are going to get the source file of the statistics mean. Okay. So to get the source file of any object, you can specify it using the %pfile and the object. Okay, so let's run this command. Okay, so this will give the entire implementation details of the statistics mean object. Okay, so here you can see all the implementation details. So if you need a source file of the object, we can use the %pfile magic command to get the implementation details. Next, let's explore the magic command %psearch. So %psearch is an IPython magic command that searches for objects matching a pattern. So we can search objects using the %psearch. Okay, so this enables all the wildcard searches. So if you know only a part of the object name, we can use %psearch to search it. Okay, so in this case, so if I remember, if the object starts with st, we can use the command %psearch st and the asterisk. Okay, so let's run this command. So this will give all the objects that start with st. So these are the objects that start with st. So this is how you can use the command %psearch to search for an object whose name we are not sure of. Okay. Next, let's explore the magic command %autowait. So %autowait is an IPython magic command that controls automatic handling of await expressions. So this is useful when working with asynchronous code, async and await. So when working with asynchronous code, we need to use the magic command %autoawait. Okay, so let's see that in action. So here we have the asynchronous code. So import async io and await async io.sleep of 1. So it will sleep for 1 second and we are printing done. Okay. So this is the word we are printing. Now if I run the code which contains the asynchronous code, so let's run this, we get an error. Okay. So we get an error because we are using async and await here. So we cannot run asynchronous code without enabling the auto await. Okay, so now we should use the magic command %auto await. Let's enable it. So to enable it, we need to mention on. So %auto await on. So let's run it. So now auto await is set to on. Now if you run the code, it should run without any errors. So let's run it. It waits for a second and then it prints done. Okay. So we can use the %autoawait magic command when we are working with asynchronous code. Okay. Next, let's explore the magic command %autosave. So %autosave is an IPython magic command which sets the notebook's autosave interval. Okay, so but the default autosave is 2 minutes, which is 120 seconds. So if you want to update the auto saving functionality of this notebook, you can specify it using the %autosave magic command. Okay, so now I'm changing it to 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. So we can use this command %autosave 60. So let's run this. So now the auto saving is changed to 60 seconds. Okay. So you can use the %autosave magic command to update the notebook's autosave interval. Next, let's explore the magic command %wordwrap. So %wordwrap is an IPython magic command that wraps selected code in a predefined template. Okay, so you can prepare a template for a selected piece of code using the magic command %wordwrap. Okay, so let's see that in action. So first, to get the list of word wrap that we have in the notebook session, we can use the command %wordwrap list all. Okay, so let's run this. So there are none, so we get nothing in the output. Okay, let's run the %code wrap magic command. So % code wrap. I'm giving the name for this code wrap, which is test, and here I'm adding the code print test. And below that, we are adding the line of code __code __. Okay. So this is where the code will get updated. And the predefined template is the print test statement. Okay. So let's run this. So now we have defined a code wrap. Now let's run the list all. Okay. Now you will see the code wrap which was created before. So we have created the code wrap test and it will print test. So any line of code we run, you will get the first line to be print test. Okay, so let's run this code, print hello. Okay, so here you can see I'm printing hello, but you get the first print test statement, which is predefined, which runs first. So first you get test, then you get hello. Okay. Now, if you want to remove the code wrap which we had created, the code wrap test, you can remove it using the command %code wrap by passing the value, remove, and the name of the code wrap test. So let's run this. Okay. Now let's run list all. So now you'll see that the code wrap is removed. And now if you run print hello, we don't see the code wrap test which is displayed. Okay. Okay, so this is how we can use %code wrap to wrap a selected piece of code in a predefined template. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Okay, let's explore the magic command %copy. So %copy is an IPython magic command that executes the operating system's copy command. Okay, it is used to create a duplicate of a file from one location to another. So this is basically used to copy a file from one location to another. So let's see that in action. So we have the command %copy and we are specifying the name of the file that we want to copy. So this file already exists. So let me show that. So here it is test copy py. Okay. So we have a folder test. Inside this, we have the script copy py. So let's open this. Okay. And we have the text, which is a print statement, hello from copy file. Okay. So now we are writing this command to copy the file from test copy py to the current location. Okay. So let's run this command. So you get the output, one file copied. Now let's go to the location. So now we have the file copy which is created in the current location. So let's open this. So this is the same file with the same text, with the same print statement, hello from copy file. Okay. So this file has been copied from the location test to the current location magic commands. Okay. So we can use the command %copy to copy files from one location to another. Next, let's explore the magic command %ddir. So %ddir is an IPython magic command that displays the directories or the folders in the current location. Okay, so in the current location, whatever folders we have will be displayed here. So let's run this command. So this will only display the folders and not the files. Okay, so let's run this command. So in the current location, magic commands, we have all these folders. Okay, so these are all the hidden folders. And we have only one folder, which is test, which we just now saw. So let's go through the location. So here we only have one folder test and rest all are the files. Okay, so the folder is displayed here. So we can use the command %ddir to display the folders in the current location. Next, let's explore the magic command %doctestmode. So %doctestmode is an IPython magic command which enables or disables the doctest friendly behavior. Okay. So this command is used to enable or disable the doctest mode. Okay. So let's run this command %doctestmode. So this enables the doctest mode. So doctest mode is on. So now if you run this command again, it will toggle back to the doctest mode off. Okay. So we can use this command to enable the doctest mode or to disable it. So if you run it again, it gets enabled. Okay, so this command can be used to enable or disable the doctest mode. Next, let's explore the magic command %echo. So %echo is an IPython magic command used to display text on the screen. Okay, so this is similar to the shell command echo. Okay, so it will work similar to the echo command which displays the text. So let's run the command %echo and we are giving the text hello world. So let's run it. So if you run this, you get the output hello world. So this prints the message that we have passed in the command %echo. Okay, so this is how we can use the command %echo to display the text on the notebook. Next, let's explore the magic command %killbgscripts. So %killbgscript is an IPython magic command used to stop all background scripts which were started using %% script or all the background scripts which are running in the background. Okay. So if we have started the background scripts or jobs which are running using the command %% script, we can stop this. Okay. To stop this, we can run the command, the magic command %killbgscripts. So let's run this. So all background processes were killed. So we can use this command %killbgscripts to stop all the background scripts which were running in the background. Okay. Next, let's explore the magic command %ldir. So %ldir is an IPython magic command which is similar to the dir command. So this lists the folders or directories in the current location. Okay, so this is also similar to the ddir command which we saw. So let's run this command %ldir. Okay, so this lists all the directories in the current location, which is currently only the test directory. Okay, rest all are the hidden files which are present. So we can use the command %ldir to display all the directories or folders in the current location. Next, let's explore the magic command %less. So %less is an IPython magic command used to display the contents of a file, okay, using a pager. So this is similar to the Unix or Linux less command. Okay, so this will display the contents of the file. So we already have a file demo.py. So let's see that. So we have a file here, demo.py. Let me open it. And this is the content. We only have a print statement, print hello. So if you run the command %less demo.py, it will display the contents of the file demo.py. Okay, so let's run this. this displays the content of the file demo.py, which is print hello statement. Okay. So this is how you can use the magic command %less to display the contents of a file. Okay. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let's explore the magic command %more. So %more is an IPython magic command used to display the contents of a text file or object on the screen at a time. Okay, so the %more magic command can be used to display the contents of a text file. So the command is %more sample.txt. So sample.txt is an existing file. Okay, so here we have sample.txt and we have the data in this text file. This is the data. So this is line 1, line 2, line 3. This is the data that is stored inside the sample.txt. Okay, now if we run this command, it will display the contents in the notebook. So let's run it. Okay, so now this displays the contents of the file sample.txt in the notebook. So we can use the command %more to display the contents of a text file on the notebook. Next, let's explore the magic command %pdb. So %pdb is an IPython magic command used to automatically invoke the Python debugger after an exception occurs. Okay, so let's see that in action. So we have the command %pdb. So by default, it is off. So we can set it on. So let's run this command %pdb on. So pdb calling has been turned on. So now the pdb is on. So if the pdb is on, it will invoke a Python debugger automatically when an exception occurs. So below is a code which will throw an exception. So a equal to 1, b 0, c equal to a by b. So this will give a divide by 0 error. So let's run this code. Okay. So now we get the error and we have entered into the debugger. So now inside the debugger, we can inspect the values of the variables a, b, c. So let's do that. So to view the value of the variable a, we need to type p a and press enter. So this will give the value of a, which is 1, and pb will give the value of b, which is 0. Okay, and if you want to come out of this debugger, we can type c or q and press enter. Okay, so if pdb is on, we get this interactive debugger, which is enabled automatically. So now if we off the pdb, so %pdb off. So let's disable pdb. We run this command. So now pdb has been turned off. Now if you run the code, the same code, we don't get the interactive debugger. So let me run this. So here we only get the exception details. We don't enter into the interactive debugger mode. Okay. So we can use the command %pdb to enter into the interactive debugger mode if an exception occurs. Next, let's explore the magic command %pprint. So %pprint is an IPython magic command used to enable or disable pretty printing. So this makes complex data easier to read. Okay, so let's see that in action. So we have the command %pprint. By default, it is off. Okay, so let me run this %pprint command. So we get pretty printing has been turned off. So if you run the command list range of 25, if I run this code, this will display the numbers from 0 to 24. Now let me enable pretty printing. So I'm enabling the pprint. So let me run this. Now pprint has been turned on. Now if I run this code, we get the output in this format where each value in the list is displayed in a single line. Okay, so this is the pretty printing format. So we can use the command %pprint to enable the pretty printing. Next, let's explore the magic command %psource. So %psource is a magic command used to display the source code of a Python object. Okay, so this will display the source code. Okay, so let's see that in action. So we have a function here, add, which takes two parameters, a and b, and it returns the sum of it. So we have this function. So let me run this. So we have created this function. Now you can use the psource magic command to view the source of this function. So if you give %psource and the name of the function add, let me run this. So you will get the implementation details of that function. So we can use the command %psource to view the source code of any Python object. Next, let's explore the magic command %pylab. %pylab is an IPython magic command used to load numpy and matplotlib into the environment. Okay, so this %pylab command will import numpy and matplotlib, both the modules, into the notebook. So first let's install numpy and matplotlib. So for that the command is %pip install numpy matplotlib. So let me run this. This will install numpy and matplotlib. Okay, so now the installation is complete. So both numpy and matplotlib has been installed. Now we can use the command %pylab to import numpy and matplotlib. So let's run the command %pylab. Okay, so now this has imported numpy and matplotlib. Now let's run the lines of code which uses both numpy and matplotlib to plot the graph. Okay, so let's run this code. So now we get the graph. Okay, so this is how we can use %pylab to import the packages numpy and matplotlib to plot the graph. Next, let's explore the magic command %qtconsole. %qtconsole is an IPython magic command used to open Qt-based IPython console connected to the current kernel. So this command is used to open a Qt-based IPython console. So first let's install Qt-console. So the command is %pip install Qt-console. So let's run this. Okay, so now Qt-console is installed. Next, let's declare a variable qtc, which is equal to hello world. Okay, now we can use the command %qtconsole to launch the Qt-console. So let's run it. So now here you can see that Qt-console is launched. So now we can work on Qt-console similar to Jupyter Notebook. So let's write some code. So print test, enter. Okay, so this displays the test. And we can also access the variable that we had created in the notebook. So we can access qtc. So we can access qtc, which is hello world. Okay, so this gives the output hello world. Okay, so this is how we can use the command %qtconsole to launch Qt-console. Next, let's explore the magic command %rehash_x. So %rehash_x is a magic command to update IPython's list of executable commands from the system path. Okay, so let's run this command %rehash_x. Okay, so we don't get any output, but the command updates the IPython list of executable commands from the system path. Next, let's explore the magic command %rep. So %rep is a magic command used to recall and execute code from previous inputs. Okay, so we can use the command %rep to retrieve previously executed codes in the notebook. Okay, so %rep1. So this will retrieve the code which was executed first in this notebook. So let's run this code. So this recalls the code that we had executed first, so which is the first code. So here the first command that we executed is %mo. Okay. So now the same command %mo sample.txt is recalled. So if you run this, we get the same output. So the command %rep is used to recall and execute the previously executed commands in the notebook. Next, let's explore the magic command %sc. %sc is an IPython magic command used to capture the output of shell commands into a Python variable. Okay, sc stands for shell capture. Okay, so let's see that in action. So cd is a shell command. So %sc, we are declaring a variable files which is equal to cd. So this will capture the output of cd into files. So let's run this command. Now let's run files. So this will display the output of cd. So the current directory, cd is for the current directory, and we are in the current directory, magic commands. So that particular path is displayed here. Okay. So we can use the command %sc to capture the output of shell commands. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let's explore the magic command %subshell. So %subshell is a magic command used to manage subshells. A subshell is a separate execution environment with the same IPython session. Okay. So if we run the command %subshell, let me run this, we get the data of the subshell. So currently there are no subshells running. So we get the ID as none and rest of the details. Okay. Next, let's explore the magic command %uv. So %uv is an IPython magic command that integrates with the UV package manager. So this allows package installation and management directly from the notebook. So this is a faster alternative to pip. Okay, so first let's install UV. To install UV, we need to run the command %pip install UV. So let's run this command. Okay, so the pip command has installed UV. Now we can use the below command to install any packages. So the command is %uv pip install, and you can mention the name of the package that you want to install. So let's install pandas here. So the command is %uv pip install pandas. So let's run this command. Okay, so now it has installed pandas. Okay, so we can use the command %uv as a faster alternative to the pip package manager. Next, let's explore the magic command %exclamation. So the magic command %exclamation is an IPython magic command used to execute an entire cell as a shell script. Every line inside this cell is sent to the operating system shell. So this is useful for running multiple shell commands together. So let's run the command. So here we have an example, %exclamatory mark. And below that we have a shell command echo hello. So we can run this command. Echo is a shell command. So we can run this using the magic command %exclamation. So let's run this command. So this prints the text hello. Okay. So similarly, we can run other shell commands as well inside the magic command %! Next, let's explore the magic command %! So %! is an IPython magic command used to render SVG content. So SVG is the scalable vector graphics. So the SVG images can be directly displayed using this command. So we need to write the SVG tag data into the %! command. So here we have %! and below we have the SVG data which is there. So let's run this command. So this displays the SVG circle inside the notebook. Okay. So we can use the command %! to render SVG content. Next, let's explore the magic command %! Okay, that was the SVG in caps. This is the SVG in lowercase. So the command %! is an IPython magic command used to render SVG graphics. Okay. This is similar to the command %! which is in caps. So here also we have the command %! and then we are creating a rectangle using the SVG tag. So let's run this command. Okay, so this displays the rectangle within the notebook. So we can use the command %! to render the SVG content. Next, let's explore the magic command %! So %! is an IPython magic command used to run the entire cell in the Windows command prompt. Okay. So all the commands that we run in command prompt, we can run it in the notebook with the command %! So here we have the command %! and below that we have a dir and echo commands which we run in the command prompt. So let's run this command. Okay. So this displays the output of dir and echo. So dir, we have all the files and folders listed. And for the echo, we have the hello text printed. Okay. So we can use the command %! to run the entire cell in the command prompt. Next, let's explore the magic command %! wrap. So %! wrap is an IPython magic command used to wrap code inside a template. Okay, so this helps to automate the repetitive code. Okay, so let's see that in action. So we have %! wrap. Below that we have the print statement, wrap start code, and then we have the wrapped end code at the end. And in between we have the __code__. So this is the placeholder for the code. So let's run this command. So now the code wrap is created. Now if you run the command %! wrap list, it will list the code wrap that is created. So let's run this. So now the code wrap is listed. Now if we run the command code wrap list all, so let's run this, we get the code wrap that was created entirely. So we get the details of the code wrap that is created. So now if you run any line of code, the template of the code wrap will be used by default. So let's run the code print test code. So the print test code prints the text test code, and we have the code wrap which is also been added above the code and below the code. Okay. Now we can also remove the code wrap. So code wrap remove. Let's run this command. So this removes the code wrap that we had created. Now if you go to code wrap list and run it, no code wraps are displayed. Okay. So this is how we can use the command %! code wrap to wrap repetitive code inside a template and reuse it later. Next, let's explore the magic command %%writefile. So %%writefile is an IPython cell magic command used to write the contents of a cell to a file. Okay. So by using the command %%writefile, we can write the contents of the cell to the file. So let's see the command. So we have the command here %%writefile, and hello.py is the name of the file where we want to write the content to. So below is the content, which is a print statement, hello world. So let's run this command. Okay, so it gives the output writing hello py. So the contents of this cell is being written into the file hello py. So let's check that. So here if you go, so if we go to the current location, we have hello py present here. And if we open that, we have the content print hello world, which is added to the file. Okay. So this is how we can use the command %%writefile to write the contents of a cell to a file. Next, let's explore the magic command %debug. So %debug is an IPython cell magic command used to enter the Python debugger after an exception occurs. So this allows step-by-step inspection of variables and the code execution. Okay. So the command is %debug, and below that we have the code which will throw the exception 1 by 0, which will give the division 0 error. So let's run the command. So it directly enters the debugger. So now we can inspect the code. We can type the code that gave the error 1 by 0, enter. So this gives the error description, 0 division error. And we can come out of this debugger by typing C or Q. So let me type C and press enter. Okay. So once we come out of the debugger, it gives the entire exception details. Okay. So this is how we can use the command %debug to enter the Python debugger after an exception occurs. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Let's explore the magic command %system. So %system is an IPython magic command used to run operating system commands. Okay, so we can run the OS commands using the magic command %system directly from the notebook. Okay, so let's see that in action. So %system, and below that we have the OS command echo hello, which will print the text hello. So let's run this command. So this displays the output hello. Okay, so we were able to run the OS command echo using the magic command %system. So we can use the command %system to run OS commands in the Jupyter notebook. Next, let's explore the magic command %time. So %time is an IPython magic command used to measure the execution time of an entire cell. Okay. So this displays the CPU time and wall clock time. So the magic command %time will give the execution time of a piece of code. So here we have the line of code, sum range of 1 million. The magic command %time is used to measure the execution time of this code. So let's run this command. Okay, so this displays the CPU and wall time. So we can use the command %time to measure the execution time of an entire cell. Next, let's explore the magic command %timeit. So %timeit is an IPython magic command used to measure code execution speed accurately. So this runs the code multiple times and then it displays the average execution time taken to run this code. So let's run the same code, sum range of 1 million, inside the command %timeit. So let's run it. Okay, so this displays the average execution time. Okay, so we can use this command %timeit to get the average execution time of a piece of code. Next, let's explore the magic command %conda. So %conda is an IPython magic command used to run conda package management commands directly from the notebook cell. So it helps install, update, remove, and manage packages from the notebook. Okay, so if you run the command %conda list, so this will display all the packages that are installed in this notebook. Okay, so these are the packages that are installed. So now to install a package using conda, we need to type the command %conda install and the name of the package. So let's install numpy. So let's run this command. Okay, so now we have installed numpy using conda. Okay, similarly, we can update numpy using %conda update numpy. So let's run this command. Okay, so this will update numpy with the latest version, only if the latest version is not installed. Okay, so we already have the latest version installed, so this was not updated. So similarly, we can also use conda to uninstall the package. So for that, the command is %conda remove numpy. So let's run this command to uninstall numpy. Okay, so now we can see that the numpy is being uninstalled. Okay, so this is how we can use the %conda magic command to install, update, or remove any package. Next, let's explore the magic command %file. So %file is an IPython cell magic command used to write the contents of a cell to a file. So this is similar to the %writefile, which is also used to write the contents of a cell to the file. Okay, so let's run the %file command. So here we have the command %file hello.txt, and below we have the 2 lines of text that we will be adding in the hello.txt file. So this will create the file hello.txt and add the below 2 lines into it. So let's run the command. Okay, so it says writing hello text. So now the file must be created and the lines of text must be added. So let's check that. So here if you go to the location, we have hello.txt. Let's open it. Okay, so hello.txt is created and the 2 lines have been added. Okay, so we can use the magic command %file to write the contents of a cell to a file. Next, let's explore the magic command %js. So %js is an IPython magic command used to execute JavaScript code in the notebook. Okay, so here we have the command along with the JavaScript code. So %js, and below that we can write the JavaScript code. So here we have a simple alert JavaScript code. Okay, so let's run this. This gives the alert hello from JavaScript. So let's click OK. Okay, so we can use the magic command %js to execute JavaScript code within the notebook. Next, let's explore the magic command %prun. So %prun is an IPython magic command used to profile Python code. Okay, so we can identify the performance issues with the magic command %prun. So here we have the code. We have the command %prun, and below that we have the line of code, sum range of 100,000. Okay, so %prun will profile the below line of code. So let's run this. Okay, so here we get the performance data the total time and the cumulative time that each methods have taken it to run this line of code. Okay. So we can use this information to improve the performance of any line of code. Next, let's explore the magic command %% So %% is an IPython magic command used to execute Python code inside the notebook. Okay. So this will execute the Python code in a separate Python process. So below we have the code %Python, and below that we have a Python line of code, which is a print statement. So let's run this code. So this prints the output, hello from Python. Okay, so we can use the %Python magic command to execute Python code in separate Python process. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel.